This is Ella, and you're listening to Frey. Starting right now. Here's your host, Alfredo Leon.
That Ella, and this is indeed Frey. As we're going to get into the major news that's happened in the NBA, as Derrick Rose, formerly of the New York Knicks and Chicago Bulls, the point guard, has signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers on a one-year, $2.1 million contract. What a big drop-off from what he wanted, as he was hoping to get a max contract. He probably would have gotten it from the Knicks, but instead they signed Tim Hardaway Jr. a 4-year, $71 million contract, and they had to rescind the bird rights, so he would have only been able to get like the veterans minimum or the mid-level exception, and he wasn't willing to do that because he wanted to get more money. Instead, he wound up getting less with the Cavaliers. He met with them and completed his physical yesterday. He could end up starting for the Cavs if Kyrie Irving is traded, which is according to Irving himself, as the news has been that Kyrie Irving wants to be traded, and he said he wanted to be traded to either the Knicks or the San Antonio Spurs as well, or even the Miami Heat and the Minnesota Timberwolves are some of the teams that he wanted to go to. But since Irving doesn't have a no-trade clause, he has no control over where he goes. So it may not be that easy for Irving. But with Rose, he's able to sign with a team that's able to help him win. And, we'll get into that later. And here is YouTuber Chris Smoove, who spoke his worries about Rose going to the Cavs and more.
He might actually lower his value playing for the Cavs. He's going there to revive his career. That's why he wants to play on a contender, because he wants to show the league that, hey, he still got it. He can still be a dominant player in this league. He still deserves to get a nice contract, because remember, at the start of last season, there were rumors that Derrick Rose was expecting a max contract in the offseason. He wanted to get maxed out. So if he performs well here for the Cavs, he's hoping to get some more money to have some more big contracts.
He also spoke about how Rose will end up playing on the Cavs.
I don't want people to look at Derrick Rose and say, and I feel like the Cavs are not going to give him the keys, allow him to do what he needs to do to play his style. Because when you join the Cleveland Cavaliers, you no longer play the way you used to play. You're going to be standing on the perimeter shooting threes because LeBron needs the ball in his hands. Kyrie's going to need the ball in his hands. Well, maybe they'll trade Kyrie. We don't know. But still, Derrick Rose is not going to be able to attack, to do the pick and rolls that he does. He's not going to be able to play. He's not a three-point shooter. And that's what he's going to have to turn into. He's going to have to change his game. I really hope I'm wrong, because I want to see Rose succeed. I don't want to see Rose getting $2.1 million and all these other guards are getting these crazy contracts. I don't want to see that.
I agree with what Chris Smoove is saying there. Rose is not going to be able to play the role that he wants to play because of the way the Cavaliers are run through Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. So he's not going to be the primary option, and he's not going to get the ball as much as he would if he were the main option. But there's still a possibility that Kyrie Irving may end up being traded as Irving wanted to, like I said, and Rose will be able to start. But still, even with LeBron James, he's not going to be the primary option, and there's going to probably have to be a lot of ball movement, and Rose is going to have to shoot threes, like Chris Smoove said, and that's not his game. So he's going to have to adjust a lot with the Cavaliers, but he doesn't have any preference on his role, as he's looking forward to play with LeBron James, as reported by the Vertical Shams charity, as Rose just wants to be able to play however he wants. He wants to be able to win, as he probably would have realized that the Knicks were not going to win afterwards. He said he wanted to stay with the Knicks for the rest of his career, but that wound up not being the case, as they rescinded his bird rights after they re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr., like I said. So Rose is going to have to do the role that the Cavaliers want and not the way he wants to play. So that could affect his game, and that could hurt him, as like Chris Wu said, try to get money eventually later on if he's able to not be able to play the role he wants to play. And Rose was traded to the Knicks last summer after spending almost 7 years with the Bulls. Even he's been injury prone, and that's taken away from his athleticism. But he was still able to average 18 points, 4.4 assists, and 4.4 assists, 4.4 rebounds, 3.8 assists in 64 games with the Knicks. And he's still a good player, as he could still score and stuff like that. But he's not going to be able to have the role that he used to, or be able to play that he was, due to all the injuries. Injuries take a toll, and that's what happens with all the injuries. And not going to be the same player anymore. It won't be as effective as it used to be because of all the injuries. And Rose also went AWOL for a small stint during the year, and the season ended up ending early April after he suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee that required surgery, which shows like the number of injuries that Rose has suffered the last few years with the ACL and the meniscus, and that shows how much injuries he's had the last couple of years, and that's affected him like his athleticism and the money that he's getting. And the deal that Rose signed was the veterans minimum, which was a major haircut in comparison to what he was looking for. He was looking for a mass contract this year, and he wound up getting a veterans minimum instead, as that's because of he wasn't the worth that money because of all the injuries, and teams didn't have enough cap space to be able to afford him that kind of money that he was looking for. And he was not worth it because of all the injuries he suffered. So that injury he suffered at the end of the year last year, that really hurt him and tried to get him a lot of money when he tore that meniscus, because teams are scared away by all the injuries he's had in his career, and they don't think he's worth all that money. So if he gets a lot of money, that he's stuck under contract and the books and stuff, and he'd just be dead money because of all the injuries that he's had, which is a shame because of the talent that Rose has had in his career. And it showed when he made those 3 All-Star games earlier in his career that he could have been a superstar, but all the injuries just hurt him, as he's never been the same since. And he ended up earning 10 times the money more last year, which is totally not what he was worth anymore, as that was the money he signed with the Bulls. Even though he was injured then, but he was still younger, and he probably could have recovered it. But now Rose is what he is. He's not going to get all that money that he ended up getting before. But it could end up working out for the 2011 MVP if he could help the Cavaliers head to the finals for a 4th straight year and get the revenge on the loss to the Golden State Warriors. Then it could all be worth it at the end. He could have a championship and stuff. And who knows, if he does well, he could get more money than what he will get now. But it's highly unlikely though, because if they still have Kyrie Irving, he's not going to be able to maximize his asset and his body potential and everything like that, his play, and he may not be able to get the money that he's looking for. And plus, Kyrie Irving, if he's still there, then Rose is going to be a backup, and his value is going to be even less because he's not going to play as many minutes as he were a starter. So, and even if Kyrie Irving was traded, he's not going to get that much touches because of LeBron James. He's a point forward of the Cavaliers, so that could play a big role there as well. But the signing of Rose will end up costing the Cavs $6.4 billion in the luxury tax, which raises the bill to $78.2 billion, according to ESPN's Bobby Marks. As the Cavaliers continue to keep spending money on players, and they keep accumulating the luxury tax, but they're trying to win and trying to beat the Warriors. But I don't know if this signing of Rose is going to really make that much of a difference, so we'll see what happens there. And Rose also met with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James was also excited by the move as he tweeted Rose emojis, Rose the flower, and he said, "Let's rock G," his quotes on Instagram, Twitter. They also reportedly talked during free agency, according to ESPN's agent Wojnarowski, and they're also excited to team up. Should be a good combination. Rose would help them and to be able to get more scoring, but he's like Kyrie Irving. He's not really much of a defender, so we'll see what happens there. But it's not going to really make much of a difference to try to beat the Warriors. Rose is not the difference to try to beat the Warriors, but if he could contribute in some ways, that could take pressure off other guys, and he could help that bench a lot too, especially if Kyrie Irving is still there. But probably he won't be able to make much of an impact, like I said, because of the fact that LeBron will still be there no matter what, because LeBron said that he's not going to waive his no-trade clause, which is smart in his part because of the fact that he doesn't want to be traded right during the season, because then the Cavs could get a bunch of assets. So if he leaves, he wants to leave under his own power and have no assets to be able to get back to the Cavaliers, and he wants to try to leave on his own terms, so he would basically leave for nothing. So, but with Rose, he's going to definitely help out the Cavaliers there, be able to provide some scoring off the bench, and to be able to show help out the Cavaliers bench, because they really struggled in the finals last year. So we'll see what happens there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and enjoy. Have a great day, and peace.